How is everybody doing today? I gotta thank everybody for watching. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Let us know how we doing. Engage with us. Hit us up in the comments. So today, I hope everybody's having a good Saturday today. I hope everybody was able to watch their favorite sports team. Go Hurricanes. Go Buffaloes. But today, I want to talk about life. After the sports goes off, you got to go back to living life for us regular people. I know I'm not a celebrity. I'm pretty sure most people that watch this probably not celebrities. But what about the life of regular people? So let's get into it. Let's get right into it. One of the craziest things I saw over the news this week is what makes a man steal a charter bus? Let me know in the comments what you think. What makes a man steal a charter bus? There was a man that's in the North Little Rock area, steals a charter bus early in the morning, drives it, and tries to go in the train yard. Why? I don't know. If you ever been to the train yard, that's where you don't want to go. But that's where he went. He got stopped there, stuck his hands out the window, chased over. I'm pretty sure it lasted a long time. Just the details are kind of weird depending on which news you look at. But the thing that I want to ask from a thinking standpoint, logical standpoint, is what goes on in your head that makes it logical to say, you know what? I want to hijack, I want to steal a charter bus today. Because anybody who's ever driven, just driving a car or a big truck sometimes can be a daunting task, a big truck or something like that. Now imagine 10 times the size of a truck, of a big truck or a long car. Like, just think about like a deuce and a quarter. You drive like a big old long Caprice, a deuce and a quarter. That can seem like a lot to drive and stop. Now imagine stealing a charter bus. Air brakes, the steering's different. This is you steering a bus. Like if you've never driven a bus, I never driven. I don't want to drive no charter bus, but it's not like driving a car. Maybe it is if you train yourself. Maybe it is, but if you've never driven one, you just hop into one. Would you feel comfortable driving a charter bus right now? Just pretty crazy, man. Some of the stuff people do, logically, it just don't make sense to me. Like I said, sometimes things happen in life. Sometimes they kind of mess your logic up. But I hope he gets the help that he needs, or maybe he learns from this that it's not a logical decision to steal a charter bus. But that's something I saw. I thought that was pretty crazy. Like somebody would go on a chase with a charter bus. I mean, a charter bus is huge. It's not like driving a car. There's no maneuverability. Um, thank God he didn't get on the freeway with that thing, and probably cause an accident. But I would just like to ask him what logically, how did you come to a point to I'm gonna get this bus, I'm gonna drive this bus? Just pretty crazy. What's the next topic? How inflation affects the grocery store. Let me know when last time you went grocery shopping. Do you think, do you see the increase of prices at the grocery store? I know I do. I'm so meticulous now when I go grocery shopping that I take a calculator with me and I'll round up to the nearest dollar or $1.50 just for taxes, just to try to make sure I stay under budget. Cause it's so easy now to go into the grocery store. You start throwing stuff in your basket, one item here, one item there. You got 5 items, and those 5 items could cost you $50. You have to really think about what you're getting. Unless you got an unlimited budget. I don't, but some people do. But what I'm saying is you have to really think about what you're getting, what you're buying. Does it make sense? Am I going to use this? You have to think about all those things because you can easily spend $200, $300 just like that. So you got to be careful. Eggs is like ridiculous. I think tissue now, if you get a big pack of tissue for about 9 rolls, maybe 10, 11 rolls, you may be spending like almost $10 for a tissue, which is unreal, but it is what it is. A lot of convenience stores that went up. It ain't Dollar General no more. They're gonna have to start calling it $5 General or $10 General. A lot of that stuff that went up too. It's just so used to saying the name, that's their brand now, but it ain't a lot of stuff in there for $1 no more like it used to be. It's starting to go up too. So let me know in the comments, how has inflation affect the grocery store? Do you notice the difference? Even when I go to some grocery stores that used to be super crowded, you don't even see them being super crowded. The lines are not as long as they used to be. The parking lot. The only thing I think to keep Walmart open is they got groceries and they got other stuff people buy too, like automotive, and they got kind of everything in one place. But even then, if they have like a lot of self checkouts and stuff, they don't usually be as crowded. But some of them that don't have self checkouts or they don't run them efficient enough, they be crowded because of the technology gap of their store. But what I'm saying is, man, you gotta be careful out here. When we go to the grocery store, you gotta really think about what you're buying, what you're picking up, because like I say, it's easy to you mess around and be at $150 just like that, and you weren't even trying to. And if that's not your budget, you over budget, but you at the cash register now. Now you got some choices to make. But yeah, man, things are going up, man. A lot of stuff that the simple stuff you thought that was you could get for the low, even that's going up. I think even avocados are going up. I think you used to get avocados for 75 cents. I think they're starting to be like almost $1.50, $2 now. It's pretty crazy out here, man. So be careful, man. We're going to the grocery store, man. It's crazy. Next topic. How can a person beat inflation? In 2024, how can a person beat inflation? Well, in my estimation and opinion, you have to learn how to live below your means as much as you can. That means underspending. That means knowing what you need, not what you want, but what do you need? And then you go from there. Priority list, right? What's in your top 5 priority list? Um, Based on what some family needs, you got a family. Depending on the dynamic of the family, depending on how much things cost. If you have girls um, in the family, that adds to the cost. You have men. Men are a little bit cheaper. Just soap, basic stuff like that. Women's a little bit different. Things they need as a woman that adds to the dynamic. You have to think about all those things. Also, you have to always think about how can I improve my value in my career. How can I jump salary brackets if possible? That's why I really hark on education. You will never hear me stop saying that education is important because that's how a way that you can beat inflation is you can up your value in salary and value in the job market. I mean, you can almost, increase your salary by 20,000, 30,000, if not more, based on the skill set that you select. And I give you a hint, a lot of the easy stuff it won't give you that much of an increase to beat inflation. The stuff that you beat inflation with is the challenging stuff. It's the stuff that you got to commit to. Let me know in the comments, how can a person beat inflation in 2024? Like I said, you really got to understand the budget. You got to really understand your overhead, your bills, recurring bills. Do you really need Netflix? Do I really need all these services? Or can I go without them? What do I need when I go to the grocery store? Like, what absolutely do I need? What I absolutely don't need? Do I need to go to Dillard's to go shopping, or can I go to a thrift store to go shopping? My trips. Do I need to limit my trips or driving so I can save on gas? Because gas right now in Little Rock, the highest I've seen is like $3 and some change. It's only gonna go up. It never goes down. It's only gonna keep going up. I mean, by the end of the year, gas could be $5 a gallon by the end of the year. I think in LA it's almost 7. In some bigger cities it's more than that. So, guys, you gotta be creative and you gotta be flexible in your thinking to beat inflation. Or inflation it'll just keep pummeling you like Mike Tyson hitting a punching bag. Yeah, really put you in some tough spots. But you just gotta keep trying to increase your value and your skill. Be mindful of what you're doing and your spending habits. Keep your transactions down as low as you can. Keep your recurring bills down as low as you can. And if you can live below your means, not get caught up in keeping up with the Joneses, you can beat inflation. Like, do you really need the newest car? Ask yourself that. Do I really need the newest car? Some people say, well, if I get a new car, I don't got to worry about fixing it. But the recurring cost of a car note is probably crazy right now. Versus finding a reliable mechanic, get you a cash car, it's research, the data's out there. Get you a car that don't have as many problems, that's a reliable car. And then if it breaks, you can fix it. But guess what? You know what I've seen? People that have car notes that's expensive, and then that rare thing happened to the car, and they tell you that the warranty's not covered, and you have to pay some of the cost. Now you have a car note, $700 plus this to get this fixed. It may cost you $900. How do you get around that? How do you solve that riddle? It happens more than what you think. But people don't talk about this on social media. They just talk about how they flexing on the gram. They got the money. You get this master class on how to get rich quick. And I'm telling you, there is no magic trick. There is no shortcut. Success takes work in anything. Whether it's your career, you got to constantly be improving and evolving with the times. Whether it's your spiritual life, you constantly have to study and keep yourself ingrained and move. Let that be a part of your logic, your moral compass. Whether it's a relationship like marriage, you have to constantly improve as an individual. Both individuals have to constantly improve and work to get better each day. If you want to be a father, you want to be a mother, you have to improve to be successful with your kids, because kids are looking at you. They study you more than what they know. And the more you can show them good habits, the better your kids will start to become, because they're watching you, plus what you're talking to them about. You will start to see an increase as well. I'm just telling you from a young parent experience. So, what are you seeing that is not being reported in the news? Now it's like election time, so a lot of stuff get kind of under the weeds. They don't really report a lot of things. Like in your area where you live, let me know in the comments, what are you seeing that is not being reported? I know for me, I'm seeing, like I said, I just talked about this earlier. When you go to the grocery store, it's not as many people as it used to be. It's starting to. It's like people are only going for things that they need. They're not piling their baskets up and stuff like you used to. Like you see a person in line, his basket seems like it's stacked. A lot of times it seems like now people are getting just what they need. A lot of the extra stuff in the grocery side, you sometimes you see that stuff getting freezer burn on it because ain't nobody buying it because it's not the essential stuff. You're starting to see more of the essential things take over the extra things. A lot of the accessory stuff you don't see, it's overstocked. They can't even get it off the counter. Another thing that's not being reported is the homelessness rate is crazy right now. It's like the what you see just driving down the street, people that are homeless is crazy in every area. Just about you see somebody that's unfortunate or homeless, and his heart goes out to him. But you see a lot of it, especially in the area where I roam. Man, you see a lot of it, a lot. I mean, it's every time we leave the house, I think we maybe see by the total of the day, we maybe see 5 people. That's average. It's about 5 people that's unfortunate, homeless. So it just let me know it's tough out here, man. It's a blessing to have stability, to have a house, have stability, and be able to make it, man. Because it ain't easy. Sometimes people can make it look easy, but it's really not. It take a lot of discipline, a lot of work. Like I said, there's no magic wand. You got to put in the work. You got to know what's going on. You got to have awareness. And sometimes all that take work in your head as an adult. That's why we try to tell kids you have to brace yourself for being an adult because the work starts when you graduate and you become an adult. The real work starts. And you don't have counselors. You don't have people that's at your hand, at your disposal. You have to find help when you become an adult. But when you're in school, help is right there. You just don't realize that it's there. But when you become an adult, you have to find help. Or you have to learn how to help yourself. Learn how to solve problems. I know for a man, I'm just saying for me, I had to teach myself, do not be a complainer. If something come up, a problem come up, how can you solve the problem? What's the solution? And if you can't get the solution right then, how do you work toward the solution? Sometimes it takes time to work toward a solution. You can't, it's not instant to get it done. So it takes patience sometimes to get to the solution. And I think sometimes the solution to a lot of people's problems is it seems like it's so far off, but if you work towards it little bit by little bit, sometimes you can get closer and closer to the solution. But it take a lot of patience. And sometimes it seems like you're climbing a mountain, and sometimes a mountain climb is not the funnest thing in the world, but it will increase your mental strength and endurance, and it'll definitely make you a different person if you can endure the mountain climb. So, but let me know, what are you seeing that's not being reported? Because, like I say, you see the gas going up. Uh, you see one thing I'm seeing that maybe people may not notice is I'm starting. You see people getting new cars, but you see that they have the temporary tags on they. Some people have it on there for a long time. You don't even know when they bought the. It don't even tell you. It's like the numbers are fading off. So that tells me that people are buying these new cars, but the sales tax is so high that they can't even afford to go to the revenue office and pay the sales tax. And I don't know if you know this, but the revenue office, they don't do payment plans. They want it all in cash or credit right there. So if you get a car, that's up there, and then the sales tax could be 5 grand in sales taxes. They want 5 grand, either cash or cashier's check. They may still take checks, but either cash, credit, or cashier's check or money order. And that's a lot of money to fork up at one time. $5,000 or even $2,000 is a lot to fork up at one time for regular people. I don't know about rich people. I'm saying for regular people. You go get that new truck or Toyota truck or whatever, and you mess around and that joke could be $70,000, $80,000. What's the sales tax on that? Lord have mercy. So it's a lot of things going on out here that's not being reported. I think people are trying to figure it out, and that's why I said, how do you beat the inflation? You have to be creative in your thinking. You got to be creative, or inflation will come get you. So next topic, let's talk about it. Cost of housing increased. There used to be a time that housing, a person could buy like a starter house, maybe not in the belly of the well part of the hood, but kind of right before you get into the belly of the well, like the third or second tier in the neighborhood, get you a starter house for about 80,000, something like that. But I think those days are just about coming to an end. With inflation and the way that the market's going, just my opinion, I think even the houses that's in the neighborhood are starting to become like six-figure houses, and some of these houses are probably not even nowhere near that in value. But the inflation is so crazy, it's not a lot that you could really do. So I want to look at some of these houses. I want to show you some things like how crazy this is. Let's see. Got this old track mouse. So let's say it is right on. I mean, this is a good, probably a good neighborhood. Let me see if it changes. So let's see this, right? John Bear area, right? What does $180,000 house look like? I want to show you this, especially to my young kids who's starting to get in the game. You want to buy a house? $180,000 house, 3 bedroom, 3 baths, built in 1978. So this ain't even like a newer house. 1,700 square feet. Let's see. I want to show you something. So I think the house is electric. Do it have gas in it too? It's got a garage. Trying to see if it shows the oh, there it is. There it is. So they want 189 for it. They said the estimate rent for this is $1,643 a month, which is crazy. Man, that's crazy. How much do you got to make to afford that? Think about that. $1,643 a month. So with escrow, they said the last recorded taxes for the house was $1,448. Let me tell you a secret with real estate taxes. They never go down. They always go up. And that's 2022. 2024, that could have probably that's probably at 1,500, maybe 16 now. Easy. They said the mortgage, estimated mortgage, is $29. 1,000, and that's estimated. That's not including interest, or it says principal and interest 860, insurance 169. I think insurance is kind of more than that now. So I would probably say this will probably be like 1,300 when it's all said and done. Probably like 1,300. And this is not um a top shelf house. This is something. This would probably be more like a starter house now. I'm trying to think if I can find something that the house that's under 100,000 you probably wouldn't even want to live in unless you know that area and you got the money to really pay somebody to remodel that house. If I can get this Trackmaster to work. But guys, the cost of living in a house is increasing by the day. And the things that they don't tell you about owning a house after you get the mortgage. You can get a brand new house, be brand spanking new, and something still can break. It's the maintenance of having a house. That's the part that don't get talked about a lot. Little small stuff, hot water heater. Could be brand new, but it can malfunction without notice. Pipes can break without notice. Something can happen to the roof. A windstorm can come and mess the roof up. I'm talking about a brand new house. Even older houses. That's why some people say they like old houses better, because once the house is settled, you can kind of really see the assessment of it, and you can kind of tell this house is going to last a little longer. But even then, though, there's still the cost of utilities. Because even after you pay the house off, you still have to pay the taxes on the house, or you could lose it in a real estate auction through the commission of lands. I think the rules have changed now. They used to give you a redemption period, but if you don't pay your real estate taxes, if you fall like 3 years behind, I think it's 3 years behind. I'm not 100% sure, so don't quote me on it. But if you fall behind so much on it, and it goes to auction, if a real estate or realtor or investor buys that property or that pays the taxes, they will rent the property. You can't redeem it. You don't have a chance to redeem it at that point. You have to redeem it before it goes to auction, or you don't have a chance to redeem it. So even after you pay a house off, you still have to pay the taxes every year. That's why it's important to know what area you buy a house in, because even after you pay the house off, you still could be paying $1,500, like we said on tax on that, $1,500 a year. Imagine if you live on the upper echelon side of town. You buy a house cash, you might win a lottery or something, and you pay the house off, you buy it cash, and the taxes still could be $5,000 a year in taxes. Now you got a whole year to pay it, but you got to pay it. You can't fall behind on it, or you increase the risk of losing it to a real estate commissioner of lands tax lien auction because you didn't pay the real estate taxes. But yeah, this is just wanted to come by and talk about this today on a Saturday. You know, after the games go off, it's time to go live life. And I want to say, man, sometimes in life you gotta put in the work. Like I said, it's not easy. It's not hard. It's just putting in the work, even when you don't feel like it. You got to put in the work. You got to keep up with your personal finances. You got to keep up with your habits, your pattern, and you got to be honest with yourself. Can I do better than what I'm doing right now? And what steps do I need to take to do better? Sometimes it may not feel good to take the steps to do better. You might have to cut out some of the stuff. You may have to sacrifice some of the stuff in order to get to a better place. I'm just telling you from experience. In order for me to go to school, I had to sacrifice a lot of stuff that I deemed the leisure time and stuff like that. There was no shortcuts. Day for day, week for week, semester for semester and year to year. And now I'm in the last semester of the 4-year degree. But I had to put in the time. I had to put in the work. Family supported me in that process. Thank God for my family, my wife, and 2 kids, and family members who understand the sacrifice. But I'm telling you that you have to make the sacrifice, whether you're young or whether you wait till you get older. There's going to be a level of sacrifice that you're going to have to put in, and the level of work you have to put in. You have to do the homework. You have to do the work. You have to learn other skills along the way. But it can happen. But there's no shortcuts. There's no magic wand. It's just work. This is Mike. I'm signing out. Thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments what you think. And I'm signing out.